Okay, so welcome everyone. I really hope you're all well and safe. And I know the United States are getting back to normal slowly. So I really hope that everything will work for you with the unlock, as they call it here in the UK. And that, we will be able to slowly go back to normal. I mean, to our normal life, to our normal jobs, and to our routine, which I think in these times, we're probably going to appreciate much more the routine that we usually have, because it's been such a strange time. So I'm very, very happy to see you every week here. Thank you very much. This is our 5th destination webinar, and we have many more lined up. And we also have a surprise, and I'm going to tell you later when we're finished. So this week we are going to explore the beautiful island of Sardinia. So we've already done Sicily, and this week we are in Sardinia. Most of you are probably familiar with some of the beaches and bays of Sardinia, but what you probably are less aware are the beauty of the inland, I mean, of the countryside, of all these archaeological sites and little villages that are not so, let's say, so popular with everyone. I mean, they're popular with Italian, but probably not abroad. And today, for this reason, I have decided to bring you 2 special guests instead of just one. And this is because I wanted to show you both the coast, and we will have Paola Mancini, General Manager of Orlea Bianca Luxury Resort in Baia Sardinia. And then I wanted to show you the amazing possibility that the countryside offers. And we're going to have Camilla Crisponi, owner of Sugo Logone, which is inland, about 20 minutes from the beach, but it offers so many activities. I think there are 50 experiences that your guests can do of every kind. I really like it, and I think you will too. So we will speak with them in a bit. In the meantime, we're going to follow our format, our usual format, which is the 5 W's. So we are going to explore the why, where, what, when, and who of Sardinia. So let's get started. Why Sardinia? Well, I mean, despite being the second largest island in the Mediterranean, Sardinia has a population of just 1.6 million. So, it's not really crowded at all. And it has so much to offer. So, I mean, apart from the beaches, there's an interest in history, wild mountains, vibrant towns with plenty of local traditions and festivals. And the people are always warm and friendly, and they're really enjoying themselves. Although it is not uncommon to drive for miles within the countryside and meet no one at all, there are many places that are lively and offer great entertainment and nightlife. So if you want to have that type of experience, or if you want to be able to go out every evening and, find lots of things to do and see lots of people, then you have that. But if you want to stay on your own, just relax and be, in a quiet area, you have that too. So that's perfect. But where is Sardinia exactly? So Sardinia, just checking there's someone that cannot connect. Okay, perfect. So Sardinia is located west of mainland Italy and south of Corsica, which is part of France, obviously, and offers over 1,800 kilometers of unspoiled coastline with beaches, turquoise sea, and fascinating rock formations. There are 5 provinces: Cagliari, Nuoro, Oristano, Sassari, and a province which is called the Sud Sardegna, which literally is South Sardinia. There are 3 airports: Olbia in the northeast, Cagliari in the south, and Alghero in the northwest. So there are flights coming in from all major European hubs and from mainland Italy, obviously. Plus, if you are in Italy and you don't want to fly, you can also embark on a ferry. There are many cities in Italy where you can take a ferry to Sardinia, and it will usually take from 5 hours up to 13 hours, depending from where you're leaving from, where you're going in Sardinia, but also if you're taking the ferry during the day or if you are traveling overnight, which is also possible. So, I mean, that's a possibility for people that are already in Italy and they don't want to take another flight to go to Sardinia. Once on the island, hiring a car is probably the most convenient ways of traveling. There are no motorway in Sardinia, But obviously on the upside, there are also no toll. So, you know, you don't spend much to drive around. And it's not like driving in Rome or in Florence, you know, it's quite easy to drive along Sardinia. Not all parts of Sardinia are well served by train. So usually this is not a great option if your clients want to move around. But what to do? Well, Sardinia offers something for everyone. You can enjoy the fashion Costa Smeralda, which has exclusive hotels, or if you prefer, you can go on the south coast and enjoy the many deserted beaches. You can spend time doing water sports, cycling, golf, tennis, horse riding, or maybe take a boat trip and explore the many little islands and the incredible bays that you can only reach by boat. You can go hiking in the countryside and learn everything about the history of the island. For most Sardinians, life is quite stress-free, and they have an abundance of time, considering that life expectation is the longest in the world. So the region has nearly 10 times more centenarians per capita than the US. And in fact, in Italy, we always say that, you know, Sardinians really know how to live because they live so long and they just enjoy themselves and enjoy life, which is great. I think everybody should learn how to do that. But before diving into its many towns and attractions, it's worth mentioning that Sardinia is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. So the oldest landmass in Europe, it has archaeological sites discovered in the 1970s that date from between the 1900s and the 730 before Christ, which is an era which was called Sardinian Stone Age. Little is known about the Nuraghi civilization, which is, Nuraghi is the type of construction that you see in the photo, but there are over 7,000 store fortresses like this one, which are the oldest in Europe, and they are scattered around the island. And there are also some giant statues created of over 8 feet tall. And in fact, this gave rise to the notion that Sardinia might really have been a land of the giants, because I mean, there are all of these very, very tall construction. And one of the best way to immerse yourself in the ancient history is to arrange a trip around one of its, during one of its many festivals, because in this festival you can really see the culture and the, you know, all the mask or the costumes and everything that Sardinia do that reflects their history. In fact, Sardinians are very, very proud of their tradition, and you know, on this festival you can taste the local food, you can hear some of the most unusual music, which is accompanied by an instrument which is called launedas. Sorry, my Sardinian is not great, although my husband father is from Sardinia, but I don't really, sometimes these words are quite tricky for me, but basically they are some pipes, and they have been played for over 3,000 years. So, you know, it's something really, it's like stepping in another era. But let's start with the different areas of Sardinia, and we start from the area around Olbia. So Olbia itself is generally not intended as a main attraction for visitors to Sardinia. However, you will find some tourists and some personnel from the NATO base, which is in the old town, and I mean, which is one of the most appealing spot with bars, restaurants, and the Romanesque church of San Simplicio. But from here, you can move slightly to the south and reach the historic village of San Teodoro, which offers a large variety of natural environments, ranging from a large wetlands near its beaches to a great lagoon rich in flora and fauna, but also vast mountainous regions such as the picturesque Monte Nieddu. And moving north along the coast from San Teodoro, you can reach the charming Capo Coda Cavallo, which is the one that you see here in the photo, which is a protected land area that includes coves, sandy beaches, and crystal clear water, as you can see. The marine conditions here are perfect for diving, and what you don't want to miss is a trip to the island of Tavolara, which is the one that you can see in the background, which is part of a 15,000 hectares of protected marine area that has conserved its environmental heritage and its fish fauna due to the difficulties in reaching the place. So it's a paradise for divers, for people that enjoy snorkeling. It's absolutely amazing, and you know, it's something that you need to try. Farther north from Olbia is the area called Gallura, and here you can find the beautiful Golfo Aranci. Its waters host a thriving community of bottlenose dolphins, and there are regular boat trips that you can take to go and watch them play. And you can also swim with them and go snorkeling alongside them. Not to be missed in Golfo Aranci is also the Mumart Underwater Museum, where from inside a yellow semi-submersible, you can admire the installation of 14 internationally renowned contemporary artists, which are underwater. So that's something quite unique and you can't find anywhere. And continuing along the coast, you can find Porto Rotondo. Porto Rotondo is one of my favorite places. I've been there so many times when I was a kid, and I really, really like it. And this Porto Rotondo, together with Porto Cervo, which is probably more famous, is one of the most popular resorts in northern Sardinia. The area surrounding Porto Rotondo is divided into 3 parts. So you have Punta Nuraghe, Punta Volpe, and Punta Lada. And Porto Rotondo has, as you can see, has a very unique appearance in that the port itself is almost entirely enclosed, while on the outer side of this sheltered bay, you can find the most amazing beaches and a number of exclusive resorts in between. So it's a very special place. It's very popular. So it's very lively. So if you want to be able to go in the evening, in the Pezzetta, take a stroll along the promenade, this is one of the places to be. And then we are now entering Costa Smeralda, which is probably one of the most famous area of Sardinia that everybody's around the world know. And it's a stretch of about 10 kilometers, which goes between the Bay of Arzachena and the Gulf of Cugagna, which is perhaps, as I said, very, very popular because of its wonderful beaches and glitzy resorts. It is a paradise for the jet set, so there's many VIPs coming here. Ivani, yes, sure, I will send you the recording, no problem at all. Porto Cervo has plenty of cafes, bars, restaurants, and there's a famous piazzetta, like the piazzetta that you can find in Capri, which is the perfect spot to lounge in style, and is the place, where you want to see, but also see. So, you want to just stay there, enjoy your aperitif, and do people watching, which is, what everybody does there. The traditional evening stroll along the quay is almost a must, and there's plenty of fashionable designer boutique on one side, and then on the other side you have all the luxury yachts. Costa Smeralda has many fantastic bays and beaches. Some are very well signposted, but there are also others which are hidden down small winding tracks, and these are where usually you won't find the crowd that obviously you can find in the larger beaches. North and south of Porto Cervo, so either way, there are 2 wonderful resorts. One is Cala di Volpe, and the other one is Baia Sardinia. And both offer incredible beaches and are perfect spot for water sport activities such as windsurfing and sailing. And we will see later Lea Bianca, which is in Baia Sardinia. In Baia Sardinia, there is also one of Sardinia's first water park, which is called the Aqua Dream Water Park. So if you have a family with children, maybe they would like to be, in that area and go and explore the water park. And now we move to Arzachena, which is a little bit inland, although there is the Bay of Arzachena that takes obviously his name. So we're just a few kilometers inland. This is a local market town that offers some hidden treasures, including some mysterious Nuraghe ruins and one of the best preserved Tomba dei Giganti, which is literally a giant's tomb, which is the one that you see, which dates from around the 1600 before Christ. The site was only excavated in 1966, and little is known about these 11 granite stones that are arranged in semicircle, measuring around 12 meters across, but it is thought that the arrangement might harness some subterranean energy for the purpose of rejuvenation, because there were lots of sites like these in Sardinia. And if you think that, as we said, they have lots of centenarians, it's quite easy to think that, all these construction, they were probably done for this purpose. There was something in this land that had the power of rejuvenate people. So, it's still mysterious, but it's something quite interesting to go and explore on your own. Continuing along the coast, right in front of the Arcipelago della Maddalena, which is the one that you can see in the very back, there are the towns of Palau and Portopollo. These are two lesser known towns, but both have interesting sight and a very, very pleasant atmosphere all of their own. Palau is primarily a beach resort with its own selection of shops, bars, and restaurants. And around 3 kilometers to the north of Palau, there is the Fortezza di Monte Altura, which is a 19th century bastion on a rocky slope above the town. And from Palau, you can also take a ferry boat to explore La Maddalena and Caprera. Caprera is a little island in the archipelago of the Maddalena, where the Italian hero Garibaldi spent the last third of his life. So it's very popular with Italians. And this is the archipelago of La Maddalena. So it consists of 7 major islands and is one of Sardinia's UNESCO World Heritage. There are approximately 300 wide sandy beaches. The waters are all clear and clean and full of snorkeling enthusiasts in search of, the perfect seabed of the Mediterranean. You can take a full day or a half-day boat excursion that will allow you to visit some small beaches and coves that can only be reached by boat. These tours usually include a visit to the island of Spargi, the island of Budelli, where you can admire the famous pink beach, the Isle of Santa Maria, Caprera, that we already mentioned, and then finally you arrive in the larger La Maddalena. Or alternatively, you can rent a car on the Isle of La Maddalena and have an independent and adventurous tour of the local beaches. So you can go and explore the island on your own and find your own perfect spot. The only town on the mainland is quite small, but is lively. It has a lively harbor with bars, cafes, restaurants, and a very laid-back vibe. And there is also excuse me, a place which is called Trattoria L'Avventura on the seafront, which is a great spot if you want to enjoy a plate of spaghetti alle vongole, which I really like, and obviously a glass of the local Vermentino wine, which we're going to talk about in a bit. And then our exploration of the Gallura area ends in Santa Teresa di Gallura, which is a small seaside village on the north coast where tourists come to explore the natural attraction nearby, but also the local nature of the town. And although it's quite busy during the high season, this is undoubtedly one of the most authentic and colorful villages in Sardinia. The town has seen the strong presence of the Savoy family in the early 1800s, but most importantly are the medieval churches and the Nuraghi ruins that you can see along the coast. And the nearby granite headlands Capo Testa, which is located just a few kilometers west of Santa Teresa di Gallura, offer excellent opportunities for trekking, kite surfing, and diving. Santa Teresa is also located on the so-called Bocche di Bonifacio, which is the Strait of Bonifacio that separates Sardinia from Corsica. And in fact, you can take a ferry from here and go to Corsica. We are now moving to Western Sardinia. So we've reached the top from Olbia and now we're moving west. Inland from the sweeping cliffs and the wide sandy beaches of the coast, the northwest is characterized by rolling hills and vineyards. And here you can find the larger town of Sassari, which is the second largest city on the island, which is an important university town and administrative centers, and notable for its history of intellectualism and bohemian student culture. So you will find it full of international students that really appreciate the vibe and the atmosphere of the town. If you happen to be in Sardinia on Ascension Day, then you cannot miss an event that goes on here, which is called the Cavalcata Sarda, which is one of the best and most important festivals in Sardinia. It's a huge display of horsemanship and local custom. And as an inland town, Sassari avoid the influx of the tourists because, it's not on the coast. And so it remains really, if you go to Sassari, you really see the locals, you don't see many tourists. So if you want to immerse in the culture, that's definitely, you can stop by. From here, you can easily reach Castelsardo, which is this beautiful town that we can see in the photo, which is a medieval village known for its Doria castle, which dominates the town from the top of the cliff that you can see, and from which you can enjoy amazing views of the Gulf of Asinara, which is this one. So when exploring the northwest, this is basically the northwestern point, which is the village of Stintino, which is a small village that was founded in 1885. And it was only inhabited by fishing families coming from the island of Asinara. And now it has about 1,600 inhabitants. So again, you know, there are small towns, not many people living there permanently. The atmosphere in Stintino is absolutely calm and peaceful, with the typical life of you know, the local village, of a fishing village. The main church, cobbled paths and traditional low houses is what you can see when you go around. And in the main street, you have shops, bars, restaurants, trattorias where you can taste the fresh local products, and you won't find many tourist places. You know, everything is quite authentic. From Stintino, then you can reach the island of Asinara, which is also known as Sardinia's Alcatraz, because this was once the 19th century penal colony, then World War I prisoner of war camp, and during the 1970s it was a prison. Today it is a superb marine and wildlife reserve, and its most unusual residents are the albino donkeys. So it's quite an unusual place. The island is perfect for walking and cycling, and has a couple of lovely beaches, including Cala d'Oliva, which is great. It is also possible to visit the prison building if you want. There are boats that leave from Stintino at 9:30 a.m. and go back at 4:30 p.m. So you can easily go there and spend the day on the Asinara island, which is beautiful. But then on the western coast of Sardinia, moving farther south, we can find Alghero. Alghero is an interesting period town with a history that dates back to the Catalans. So it has a Catalan core full of piazzas and winding lane and a green outskirts that easily reach down to the beaches. You can walk around the fortified walls and admire the great defensive towers, and then turn into the maze of cobbled lanes to visit the striking Gothic-style historic center that has the Cathedral of Santa Maria, the Guio Palace, and the 14th century Church of San Francesco. Walking around the town, you will still find the occasional fisherman which is mending his net in a doorway. However, the serious fishing activity has its center in the harbor, just to the north of the walls. And there you can find the, the fish, the main course for your dinner in the daily market, with just a short walk farther, and it's beautiful. And then if you're looking for a diversion from the coast and the beaches, in Alghero you can find the most popular caves of Sardinia, which is dedicated to the sea god Neptune. They extend for about 6 kilometers and have been dug out over thousands of years by fresh water. They can be reached by boat, by ferry boat, or through a 600 steps staircase, which offers stunning views over the sea and the coast. So this is something quite special to do. I mean, if you have a family with kids, they would love going into the cave. My kids do. We've been in all the caves of Elba Island last summer, and they absolutely loved it. And it's also quite refreshing. So sometimes if you want to break from the beach, inside the caves obviously is quite chilly, and so it's absolutely beautiful to do in the peak months. And then we continue to move towards the south, and here we find Oristano with its elegant shopping street, piazzas, popular cafes, and some lovely, lovely restaurants. Though there's not a huge amount to see beyond some churches and an interesting archaeological museum, the city is a good base if you want to explore the area and the surrounding. And beside the historical traces, there are miles of unspoiled coastline with hidden coves and sandy bays. And the majestic cliffs of the Sinis Peninsula, which is the one that you can see in the photo, are known not only for the spectacular sea that surrounds us, as you can see, but also for the presence of the city of Tarros. This is a very important archaeological site of Phoenician origins. So again, apart from lying on a beach and taking your, your ton, there are lots to explore. And if you are an archaeology enthusiast, there's absolutely a lot to do in Sardinia. We're reaching now the southern part of Sardinia, and this is Sant'Antioco. So Sant'Antioco is, it's funny because it is Italy's 4th largest island. So we have Sicily, Sardinia, then we have Elba Island and Sant'Antioco. And is reached by a narrow man-made road, which was originally built by the Romans. So the island was home to the ancient city of Sulci and is now basically littered with Phoenician cemeteries. So again, is an archaeological site, despite the incredible beaches and crystal clear water, as you can see. And from here, a short car ferry journey can transport you to the neighboring island of San Pietro. And a stroll around this pretty town that has lots of pastel-colored houses and cobbled lanes. It's just nice to go and explore and have a stroll around the village. This is absolutely one of the most undeveloped corners of Sardinia, and visitors usually come here from isolation for its isolation, simplicity, and wildness. Leslie, yes, surfing or windsurfing? What would you prefer? Because windsurfing's up in the north, as we said, all in the area of the Gallura. There's plenty of spots which are perfect for windsurfing, but absolutely, with many beaches all around, really you can find, depending on the day and how the wind is blowing, you can find a beach where you will be able to do windsurfing every day. So, if it's not on one side, you just drive a little bit and you can go on the other side. Longer, not windsurfing. Okay, yes, I'll talk about that in a bit. So now we move to, along the coast, the south coast is the town of Chia. So Chia is dominated by the homonym tower, as you can see, which is visible by all its beaches. So it's kind of a landmark that you will see from all around. And Chia owes its popularity to the transparency, obviously, of its water, and you have a coast of around 6 kilometers. Close to the resort is Capo Spartivento, which is the second most southern point of Sardinia, and has a spectacular faro, so a lighthouse, which is still working, has been turned into a guest house, but it's operating. Here is a popular holiday spot that also attracts water sports, and here is particularly for kite and windsurfing. The sea is often dotted with colorful sails bobbing on the ocean, and if you happen to be here around Easter, then there is the Chia Classic Windsurfing Competition, which is held here every year. And not far from Chia, you can find the pretty town of Pula, which is an agricultural and tourist town. There's a long sandy coastline of Santa Margherita di Pula and the majestic Sulcis mountain at the back that offer a very varied landscape and plenty of, charming little villages and little town to explore. By night, the central square is full of locals and visitors which are enjoying the warmth of the summer evenings in the cafes or in the restaurants, and just browsing between the many shops which are usually open late at night. And this is the beauty of these summer resorts, because it's not that everything is shutting down at 7. Actually, they may sometimes close just for 1 hour to go and have a dinner break, and then everything is open till late. So you can stay on the beach during the day and then enjoy your shopping in the evening after dinner. The nearby coast offers the village of Nora, which is one of the best regional examples of an ancient Roman provincial city, as temples, baths, and well-preserved mosaic floors. And it's a pretty little village to go and explore. And now we have reached Cagliari. So Cagliari is considered to be the most Italian of Sardinian cities. And like many Italian cities, everywhere you tour you come across traces from the rich past. So you have ancient Roman ruins, you have museums filled with prehistoric artifacts and century-old churches and elegant palazzi. So it's like being in one of the many historical towns in mainland Italy. Edging east of town, you reach the Poetto Beach, which is a hub of summer life with its limpid blue water and a very upbeat party scene. So very lively again, as we are in Portocervo up north. Up in Cagliari Castello, which is up the top, there is a museum complex that includes one of Sardinia's finest archaeological museum, which is called the Museo Archeologico Nazionale, so the National Archaeological Museum, which has exhibits dating back to 6000 before Christ. And every May in Cagliari, so May is a great season to be in Sardinia, they celebrate the city's survivals from a 17th century plague and give thanks to its patron Sant'Efisio with a 4-day festival that starts from the Church of Sant'Efisio, and you have hundreds of local participants from all over the island wearing their town typical costume, and they accompany the effigy of Sant'Efisio for about 40 kilometers from Cagliari down to the coast to Nora and then back. And there's music, there's thousands of followers, red sculpture. So if you're in the area in May, this is something that you don't want to miss, absolutely. And then this is my favorite place. So this is one of the most beautiful towns of South Sardinia. It's called Villa Simios. It has long, wide, sandy beaches, crystal clear waters. I mean, it looks like Caribbean. Coves, little coves to go and explore, and a landscape which is covered in Mediterranean scrubs. Villa Simios doubles literally its population during the summer with the tourists. Amongst the most beautiful beaches, you have Porto Saruxi, Campus and Campulongo, La Spiaggia del Riso. Riso is rice in Italian, which is so called because it really, I mean, the sand really looked like rice beans. Then Cala Caterina and the enchanting Porto Giunco. And then there is also Punta Molentis, which is famous for its pink flamingos, which are beautiful, absolutely. And then we're now going back up to the Gulf of Orosei in central eastern Sardinia. This is one of the most beautiful spots in Sardinia, which is famous for the Bue Marino Caves, sorry, which you can reach, which is made of stalactites and stalagmites that reflect the water, creating amazing light displays. Absolutely beautiful. You can reach it by boat. There are some areas along the coast which are known for their gastronomic products, and then archaeological areas such as Tiscali and Serra Orrios. Then there is the forest of Surraterra and Givine, and then the canyon of Su Gorropu, which is the deepest canyon in Sardinia and also one of the deepest in Europe. And then obviously there's many beaches and coves like Cala Mariolu, Cala Sisine, Cala Golorizze, Cala Biriola, Cala Fuili, Cala Luna, and then last but absolutely not least, the gorgeous Cala Gonone, which is the one that you can see in the photo. Not long ago, you could reach this bay only by boat, but now there is a neat road tunnel that bring you through to the wall of mountains that separate it from the rest of the island. It's a special place, and it is not far away from Sugologone, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And then we have, we've seen plenty of coastal town, incredible bays. We've talked about the Nuraghi, but Sardinia also has this wonderful countryside and inland attraction. And one of the most beautiful areas is called Barbagia, and which has villages such as Mamoiada and Orgosolo, and they're all in the province of Nuoro. So Orgosolo is well known for its wonderful murales. They have about 150, while Mamoiada, it's known for its traditional carnival masks. So there is also a mask museum in town where you can discover more about this tradition. And then the mountainous region of Barbagia have wonderful trails for walkers and many festivals, including the Mamoiada Festival in February, which is basically a reenactment of the victory of Barbagian shepherd over the Saracen invaders. In the largest town of Nuoro, which is nearby, you can visit a very beautiful ethnographic museum, which is the Museo del Costume, so the Museum of Costume, which basically explore the inland's rich culture through its costume, its jewelry, musical instrument, and includes 3,000-year-old launedas, sorry, the instrument I talked about before, which is, as I said, is basically a trio of pipes. And then there's even a section about bread. In fact, there are probably hundreds of different bread designs that are used on the island during the Mani Festival to do different bread designs. It's quite particular. And then now we talk about food as usually. So when you embark on a holiday to Sardinia, food is probably one of the things that you think about. I mean, you want to enjoy all these amazing flavors. And the Sardinian cuisine is showcased across the island, from countryside classic native of Sardinia itself to more recognizable Italian pasta dishes, but all with a local twist. You can find an incredible variety of dishes of any kind, from the many types of pecorino cheese, the handmade pasta dishes, tasty meat and fish-based dishes, and a wide choice of desserts and cake. And my favorites, as usual, are these two. So the spaghetti with bottarga. So this is a pasta recipe with grated smoked mullet eggs, so fish eggs. And then the pane carasau on the right, that I love with just fresh tomatoes. This is a thin, crunchy flat bread, which is made with durum wet flour and is absolutely amazing, my favorite. And then the wine. So this is quite a weird photo talking about wine. Well, basically, the Sardinia territory is so diverse that is often described as being like a country in its own right. And with rocky mountains and stretch of untamed coastline, Sardinia produce different types of top-notch wine. So they have a significant amount of different white and red wines. Almost all the wines are made either with the Vermentino grapes for the white wines, and the red wines are made with the Cannonau. And this is probably around the 30% of the production of the island. Sardinia have been growing and producing wines since the 16th century, when the island was called Insula Vini, which is literally wine island. And in addition to the variety that I've already mentioned, you should try the Cagnulari, which is another grape variety that is native to Sardinia, but is a rare find elsewhere. And the cooperative winery of Santa Maria La Palma that creates an award-winning Cagnulari, they also have a special way of aging spumante, so sparkling wine, and is what you have seen in the photo. Well, you can see in the photo. So basically, they age the spumante underneath the water. Leslie, yes, scuba diving pretty much everywhere around Sardinia, and it's perfect because you have lots of marine reserves, as we have said, and like Tavolara and then in Asinara, and so it's absolutely perfect. So yes, this is a very, very special way of aging wine. But now, let me just unmute Paola. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Paola, where are you? Here you are. Mute. Good. Paola, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. So I'll just play the video and then I'll leave it up to you to tell us all about your beautiful resort.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Paola.
Okay. So welcome to Ea Bianca. My name is Paola. I'm the general manager of this, I like to call it a small jewel set in the enchanted world, because it is a very small boutique hotel, a romantic retreat of 31 exclusive rooms and 5 villas. And the amazing thing is that all our rooms, all categories, they have a fantastic view over the sea. What you can see here is the main building. So it is set in a private park of 2 hectares. And imagine our garden is 8,000 square meters. So this means that every room has approximately 200 square meters at its disposal. And so everybody can find a really quiet corner on the garden. Then you cross the garden and you will reach the beach. Here you see just a small part of our beach. And right on the beach, the new restaurant we just opened last year, which is the Lunaria Beach Restaurant.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why. Oh, it's turning, finally.
It's turning. I see the same.
Presentation was starting.
Okay.
Turn the slides.
Perfect. So when our guests arrive, they reach the reception, and then it opens up with big windows, and you have an amazing view over the pool, the garden, and the beach. Here you can see our fresh freshwater swimming pool, and crossing the garden, a little path will lead you to the beach. You can imagine you have amazing sunsets from here. Then we have different kinds of rooms, categories. We have the superior rooms that start from 25 square meters. Then we have, of course, also junior suites and suites. And all categories can be interconnecting. So parents maybe can choose to have a suite and have an interconnecting room for the guests, for the children. All the rooms have balcony and sea view. Then we have a room category, which are the garden deluxe room, which have also a private sea view garden. Yeah, rooms, we have to say that rooms are generously sized. And here you can see the style is not typical Sardinian style. It is more a little bit at the core of a sophisticated modern combination. And then for the most discerning guests, we propose villas, which are, imagine, it's like having a very big suite with 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, and those are nestled just in front of the main building and have also big gardens around, beautiful corners, veranda, sea view terraces, and each of these villas has also a little private kitchen. So guests can also choose to have the houseboat in the hotel, or they can have also a private chef that can cook for them directly on the villa. For the villas, they have been recently refurnished, so this was 2 years ago, and for the villas we have chosen a typical Italian design with fresh colors, like a very Mediterranean style. Yeah, it's amazing to enjoy a breakfast on the terrace, and you can see from all the rooms you have beautiful view. Then here we have our pool, our swimming pool, which is quite big for such a small hotel, and a lot of space around, so every guest can really choose to enjoy privacy and tranquility. Then we have basically 2 beaches. The main beach was what we see here. We just refurnished this last year. And then we also have a private beach where we reserve the sunbeds and umbrellas for guests choosing the suite and choosing the villas. Of course, this is a complimentary service. So our attendant is there in the morning with all the towels and whatever the guest needs. Then there is a small little wellness center. Wellness center with a hot water pool and a jacuzzi, and then you can do fantastic holistic massage and really calm down from stress and enjoy then a sauna. And this is our terrace. Well, in the meantime, we have to see, this is a picture dated back 2 years ago. We have refurnished also the terrace, but it's really amazing. At nighttime, this is the time I prefer, because the scenery at Lea Bianca changes every 20 minutes. Imagine all the lights. It's like a chromotherapy show, and every 20 minutes the lights change. So you enjoy your dinner on the Lunaria restaurant with candlelights. You can listen to the soft music of the singer. So it's quite a moment I like. And then the Lunaria Beach restaurant, which is a new opening from last year. Lunaria restaurant is open also for external guests. And here you have amazing corner just in front of the sunsets at sunset time. It's nice to sit there and sip a glass of good Sardinian wine. And it becomes very lively also at night time. And here you can see the private beach with these big umbrellas. And imagine in the night, we take away the sunbeds, and under each umbrella, we put a single table with, which is only lit by candlelight. And you can choose to dine with your feet in the sand, or you can dine on the opposite side where we have small platforms with 1, maximum 2 tables. And all this overlooking the amazing archipelago of La Maddalena.
I love his photo with the color.
And this is, well, this was a very romantic event we did last year. We have basically 2 gazebos. Here we put some gazebos more because we had this romantic dinner. It was a special evening. So, but you can see this is not a Photoshop. This is really what it is. It's incredible. The colors are just amazing. Then the Lea Bianca, I think, is a good location for romantic events such as a wedding. You can choose to book for exclusive use the pool area, or take the whole Lunaria Beach restaurants for exclusive use. This is one event we organized on the pool. And then, for example, sport par excellence is golf at our hotel. We are lucky to have a golf course, an 18-hole, and a very amazing golf course, just 10 minutes drive from our hotel. It was designed by Robert Trent Jones. I don't know if you play golf, but if you come to Sardinia, you can't miss it. It's amazing. And then you can do with our concierge, he can organize all kinds of excursion to the inland, to the beautiful sea, or just rent a boat and with a skipper explore the beautiful coast of Sardinia. And this is our last photo. This shows the Lea Bianca at nighttime. We do often little parties on the pool. Every Wednesday, invite all my guests to join me for a glass of wine. And for me, this is an important moment, but because there I have the chance to talk to everybody, and everybody, you know, gets together. And this makes like being at home. It's not like being in a big hotel. It's just like being in a very small boutique retreat.
Thank you so much, Paola. If there's any question, I would invite you to type it in the question and answer in the chat, so that then after we see Camilla's presentation, then Paola can come back and answer all your questions. Thank you very much, Paola.
Thank you.
And Camilla, now I'm going to unmute you. And okay, good. Hi, Camilla.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So I'm gonna play your beautiful video, and then I'll leave it up to you.
Yes, sure.
Ci sono terre sconosciute, immutate, dove il sale non ha perduto il suo sapore. la Sardegna. Il valore della vita è alto, come l'altopiano illuminato d'oro, addolcito dal sole e tra le rocce. Incantevole spazio e distanze da esplorare. Nulla di finito. È come la libertà stessa.
Okay, perfect. Oh, sorry. Here we are. If you want to go ahead, Camilla, and do your presentation.
Okay, perfect. So as Chiara said, we're located in the north center of Sardinia. So we're in the countryside. So it's something a little bit different than what people expect to see in Sardinia. And yeah, for example, from this picture, so our hotel, in our hotel, we organize more than 50 different experiences. Obviously, not being in the beach made us think that we had to come up with something different. And so that is why we decided to offer more than 50 different experiences. Experiences that are divided between natural, cultural, food and wine, folkloristic ones. So we wanted to, and creative, obviously, and we wanted our guests to experience the authentic side of Sardinia. This one, it's the picnic on the River Cedrino, that it's where the hotel is located. We are 200 meters away from this river, and the spring falls to Gologone. That is where we took the name of the hotel. And this is one of the food and wine experiences that we organize in the hotel. So it's a great picnic in the middle of the nature, and that the guests really, really love it. And this one, it's the lunch with the shepherds, and it's our most requested experience. And guests have the opportunity to have actual lunch organized and prepared by the shepherds in the typical houses that are called pinnetto in Sardinian language. And so after they spend doing an excursion on one of the surrounding mountains, then they can stop and have this great lunch with the shepherd. It's a unique experience. Then I guess, this one, it's our winery, and obviously this area is quite famous for food and wine experiences, and especially the wines, the red wines here are quite well known. And here we organize the degustation, the tasting of red wines, locals like Nepente, the Canonalvo of Oliena, which is the town close to the hotel. And here we, in our winery, we organize the wine tasting along with the honey cheese and oil tasting. So all local products from Oliena, our town, or surrounding villages. Then here in the art shops, which is located in the top part of the hotel, we organize the creative classes. We offer our guests more than 12 different type of creative courses, and here they can learn how to paint, they can learn how to do ceramic, they can personalize their own jewelry or pillows or bags, so they can get a little creative in one of the 6 rooms that each one of them is dedicated to ceramic or art or jewelry. So yeah, pretty much anything related to fashion and art. And so with our amazing ladies, they can take these creative classes. There's something really fun, and then they can personalize their own souvenir from Sardinia. Then regarding the food and beverage part, we have one main restaurant and actually 2 main restaurants and 3 experiential restaurants. This one, it's part of the experiential restaurant, and it's located in the meeting center. It's one of the restaurants where we offer obviously the Sardinian traditional parties. So here after night, obviously after dinner, we we offer the possibility to see the traditional dancing and singing from Sardinia. So there are all the people dressed up with the local costumes. They dance and sing, and then they entertain the guests after dinner. And here it's more like for meat lovers. Here we cook the porcetto, so the pork in the spit, and all the local meats. This one is the Orto, which is the restaurant of the restaurant in the vegetable garden. And here is only 20 covers in the vegetable garden. So we cook only vegetarian and vegan dishes, and with products from the vegetable garden. So there are the two our amazing cooks that go and pick up all the products, and they cook in front of the client. Then this one is the Tablao bar. It's the aperitif bar located in the top part of the hotel, just next to Le Botteghe. So the art shops that I talked about before. And here we serve aperitif at sunset, and we have a great champagne and cocktail list. Regarding the rooms, we have 72 rooms in suite, and beside the regular categories, we have the experience suite. Like this one, it's one of the experience suite, and it was my mom's studio. She's the hotel manager and also an amazing artist. And then she decided to turn into a colorful room, and she left everything to paint. So inside the room, you will find all the brushes and canvas and colors. So all the necessary to paint and to get a little creative. Then this one is another experience suite, and it's the country suite. This one is located right next to the restaurant, to the vegetable garden restaurant, and you can actually sleep outside. The inside it's beautiful, but the outside it's an experience, because you can definitely sleep in this outdoor bed, and you can wake up to a great sunrise view in the vegetable garden in the mountains.
Camilla, just 1 second, because Carol has to go, and she had a question on how much are the experiences. Can you give us just a range before she leaves?
How much? You mean the price?
Yeah, the price.
Well, we have more than 50, so we actually, I mean, depends. They go from, I don't know, 30 euros for the creative classes, like 30 euros an hour. And then, I don't know, they can go up to, I don't know, 150. Depends on what they want to do. If you want to have a private experience, so only like two, like let's say a couple, or they want to have a group experience. So it depends. We have, I mean, different prices and different experience, so they really have a lot of choice.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and you can switch slide.
Yes, sorry, I was just typing to Jane. Jane has to leave too. Jane was asking about an itinerary. I will send you all a 7 days itinerary with different things to do. Thank you very much, Jane, for taking part of the presentation. And sorry, here it is.
And yeah, that's our swimming pool. Obviously, we have the swimming pool since we're not on the beach. And this swimming pool is filled with the water from the spring fall. And we have to say that we're actually the only hotel in Italy having the water from the spring fall. And yeah, here we also have a small fitness center, 2 outdoor jacuzzi, and the spa. So it's one of the most relaxing area of the hotel, along obviously with the many terraces and many spots that we have in the property. I didn't mention that we are locating in this beautiful land of 11 hectares. So the property, it's quite big. And we have all this little corner that our guests can look for and they can find while exploring the property. And this one, it's one of the terraces. It's called Wishes Terrace. And here we do also, it's great for an aperitif at sunset, but also we do yoga in the morning. We have our teacher, Luca, that does the yoga classes with our clients.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Camilla. There is a question for you. So Barbara is asking, in the resorts and activities, will someone speak English? I bet yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect.
Even the tour guide, the one that's all the excursion, it speaks also French. So yeah, even for French.
Okay, yeah, so if we have some Canadian agents, so yes, if they have clients that do speak French, you have also someone that can do that. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Camilla. I absolutely love all of your experience, so I have to come and try. And I would love the experience suite, the countryside experience suite, because I would love to sleep outside. There was a question for Paola. Sorry, Paola, let me unmute you. I did reply, but maybe you can say something more. So Jane was asking, what is the nearest town to Lea Bianca?
So
Baia Sardinia.
Baia Sardinia is 3 kilometers. Then Porto Cervo, where the luxury shops are, is 10 kilometers, so 10 minutes drive. But what guests should not miss on Thursday, San Pantaleo. On Thursday, San Pantaleo, there is the market, and it's just 10 minutes drive from our property, but it's really worth to do. All the artists have their booths there, and it's really always an adventure.
Great. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much, Camilla and Paola. I'm just going to finish with my last few slides because obviously we have already done an hour and some agents have to go. So I'm just going to finish up. Thank you very much for taking part of it. And so let's finish up with, as usually, when to go in Sardinia. Well, the first advice is probably if you can avoid July and August, which are obviously the crowded month, and obviously it's really, really hot. But apart from that, any other time is absolutely perfect in Sardinia. Winter is mild. Autumn has some great temperatures and incredible sunset. I mean, the colors, as Paola was saying, are absolutely incredible. They change all the time. They change every 10 minutes. Sunsets are amazing in Sardinia. And there are also lots of festivals throughout the year, which are worth considering when you're planning a holiday, which is not in season. As I typed to some of you in the chat, I'm gonna send you a 7 days itinerary so that you can have a look at it. And Jane was asking earlier if it's how far are the distances. So just to give you an idea, from Cagliari to Olbia, so going from the south to the north, is less than 3 hours drive. So, you know, you can even consider doing a 2 centers up north and south. Let me see, because there is another question. So do families with small children come? Oh, yes, absolutely. No. There's plenty of families with more children because there are plenty of sandy beaches, which are perfect with shallow waters, absolutely perfect for kids. So there's a range of babies up to adults. There's absolutely something for everything. And then, sorry, last 2 slides. So what is it for? As I said, perfect for family, adults, group of friends. There's lots of people going to party there in Sardinia because obviously, have we seen, there's plenty of destination which are very, very lively. But also, I mean, if you just want to relax and enjoy your time and don't see too many people, then you're probably going to the south, where you have kilometers of coastline and these tiny little beaches. So it's absolutely amazing. And then the sports activities for everyone. We go from diving, snorkeling, hiking, biking, golfing, as Paola was saying, and then sailing, obviously, motorboat, and surf and windsurf. So there's plenty of areas where you can do surf and windsurf. Almost all around Sardinia, there are spots which are perfect for one or the other activities. And then, I mean, we said all the history, the culture, the archaeological sites. So there's really so much to do. It's not, you have to consider Sardinia, not just the beaches, but is a destination in itself with plenty of activity and plenty to offer. And went too fast. My 5 tips as usual. So plan at least 1 week. As I said, I'm going to send you an itinerary, a 7 days itinerary, and it's lovely if you're able to do a 2 centers. So if your clients don't mind moving around, then doing a 2 center is perfect. You can spend sometimes on the beach and then sometimes inland, or sometimes in a slightly larger town to explore the 2 different combination. I mean, to live the 2 different feelings and atmospheres. Then don't think that Sardinia is expensive. Yes, there are areas of Sardinia which are quite pricey, mainly if you go in Costa Smeralda and in the biggest resort, but there are also areas of Sardinia which which are more, let's say, reasonably priced. So it's not that you should say, oh no, Sardinia is off because it's too pricey. There are ways of doing Sardinia, even if your clients are not, you know, the richest and they want to spend so much. And then try to attend at least one of the many local festivals, because that's really the way that you can get in touch with the culture. And, you know, all these costumes, the masks, the music, the food, it's really living like a local and living the experience and not just, you know, enjoying the resort and the beach and that's it. And then take part, this is something that I always say because I love food, take part in a cooking class and learn, you know, the secrets of these dishes, learn to how to replicate some of these dishes at home and bring with you the flavors of Sardinia. And enjoy a boat tour. As we said for Liguria and as we said for Sicily, seeing the island from the sea and being able to reach these lovely little bays that you cannot reach by land, it's something that absolutely you should do. And so, sorry. So I finished. Sorry, I've been quite long today, but I really wanted to show you the two aspects of Sardinia. Next week, is going to be the Dolomites. So we're not talking about the Dolomites in the winter. We're talking about the Dolomites in the summer, in the spring, and all of what the Dolomites can offer, which are, I mean, an area with incredible beauties and plenty of things to do. So please do register for it. And then the week after, we are going to start combining the destination webinars to another type of webinars. So we're going to move the destination webinars to the Thursday instead of the Wednesday. No worries, I'm going to send you all the information. And on the Tuesdays, we are going to introduce a series of experiential webinars. So the aim is for you to take part in a fun way, even if virtually, in some of the activities that we can organize for you and your clients. I will give you more information next week. I will send you all the details, but I just want to give you these little announcement and this little insight on what's going to happen. So I'm sure you will love them. There are going to be 5 of them. We're going to cover the 5 senses. So, you know, taste, touch, smell, vision, and hearing. So we are getting very excited of organizing them with our suppliers, and so I'm sure you will love them too. So thank you very much again for tuning in. As usual, here you have all our links. So you have the website, the Facebook group, the Facebook page, LinkedIn, my emails. If there's anything, please do get in touch. And I'm going to send you the recording as usual by tomorrow. Thank you all very much for connecting, and stay safe and see you soon.